Hey everyone, thanks for coming tonight to our social media strategy training. We have a lot of new faces that have joined our team. So we thought it would be a good idea to kind of share some strategies with you that you could help use to make your social media work for you even better. So, really our whole goal for you is that you can feel natural when you're doing it and you can show up and be authentic because that's what everybody desires is for you, you want to be authentic and your audience wants you to be authentic. So, we all use social media a little bit different. And so there is going to be a couple different voices in here that are going to share some different things along the way that have worked for us. So the first thing that we're going to do is, I always like to talk when I'm working with somebody that's new to Plexus and they're asking, how do I get started in social media? I really do like to set a vision for them that they're going to be a person that, we're going to try to show up as influence. We want to be a person of influence. So social media isn't about being a walking billboard for ads. It is about building connection and it's about, influencing your audience in a way that they feel like that there's a trust there. Okay. So when people see your heart or your humor or your values, they begin to trust you, and that's really important. So when we focus on adding value instead of just constantly selling something, your post, your reels, all of that is going to naturally hit harder and more authentic, even your plexus ones when you show up that way. So key points right here. We want to remember to be a person of influence, not just a salesperson. We want to add value to help our people in everyday life, and we want to become a trusted resource for our audience. So the end result when you have this is going to be that you are going to constantly show up with this content, and then it's going to become impactful for the people that need it. So I like to train on the three E's. I feel like it's kind of a secret to balanced content. Okay. So I like to break it down into three categories, and I will share that I would break it down to the first E of being educate. So this is something that you're going to share that's helpful or insightful or giving a gut health tip or a product tip or just ingredients or anything like that. Just educate them on something. The next E would be empower. So this is where you're going to inspire, encourage, motivate, talk about mindset things, talk about your personal faith. You're going to how you overcome challenges, maybe how you got started with Plexus, and then empower them to be able to see the changes as well. So the third E that I like to talk about is to entertain. This is obviously going to help people laugh and smile, and they can be relatable to you. You're gonna bring them in with some of the things that really show your personality. And so I think it's really funny, when we can show up and humor ourselves and like funny mom memes or just perimenopause, whatever it is that you want to do, it does really help connect with people and, shows them that you're human. And I think that's really important. So when you're making your posts, I just want you to think, okay, if it does it, does it educate, does it empower, does it entertain? And if it checks one of those boxes, by golly, post it. Okay. That's kind of how you can, give yourself a little feedback there. So the next thing I like to do after the three E's is to talk about, I like to call them passion pillars, but I really call them just pillars. There's like five, I talk about 5 pillars that you can create. And this is more about how your audience is going to connect with you. It's almost like it's going to be your personal brand. So I want you to think of these pillars as the ingredients that make up your personality. It shows your audience who you are. So this is going to help you create some of that content by, making these pillars. So for example, it could be faith. Okay. Your pillar could be like parenting or maybe, even the hormones, perimenopause, maybe books, like if you like reading or makeup, if you like, makeup, anything these pillars just need to be able to really reflect who you are. So, like on any given day, you're able to share things about these pillars and you're not going to struggle to share about them. You're not going to want to pick gardening if you don't like gardening. Okay. Do you get my point there? I mean, you want to be able to show up authentically. Okay. So, after I've taught about the ease and then having these pillars, I usually tell people to go ahead and try to think of the five pillars and write them down. So that is definitely going to be something that, you want to do. I would try to do at least three up to five things that really reflect your personality. So when you come to my page, you're going to see, most likely you're going to see faith-based content. You're going to see that I educate. I'm a natural educator because I was a teacher. You're going to see that I'm a mom going into another season of, life as my kids have graduated and gotten older. And then, health, gut health. I mean, people are going to see that. And when you go there, you're going to be able to trust that that's the content you're really going to be able to see from me. You're not going to find random shark videos or, just weird things. That is how a brand works, is that you can pick enough pillars that you're able to show up authentically as yourself. So, and then the next thing, what I would have somebody do is to create a calendar system, so just print off yourself like a basic calendar, blank calendar, and then you're going to fill this in with using your three E's, how you're going to educate and you're going to empower and you're going to entertain, but you're also then going to use those things to help build content around your pillars. Does that make sense? So if you're, for example, if you're Monday, you're you're going to talk about something that you want to educate something about them. I might show up as a parenting tip for, high school kids. Or Tuesday, if I want to do empowerment on Tuesday, I'm going to share something that maybe I've overcome with mindset or something that has really helped me with this journey. And so, and again, then if you did Wednesday, like entertain, I would probably throw in something funny. Or like today, literally today, I put in there, I've never felt more ADD than I do when I open Pinterest. And this is a real thing for me. Okay. I wanted a tomato soup recipe and I walked away with the landscaping design. How that happens, I do not know, but that's me. That is real life, and you can expect to see that. So, anyway, I just wanted to say, you also probably would like to sprinkle in some Facebook Lives, some reels, some stories. There's lots of things and lots of ways that you can show your personality and connect with people. And so, one of the things that we're going to talk about right now is the content creation. And I've asked some of the other ladies to kind of share some of their strengths with us. So that way you can get lots of different tips and tricks for all of the social media. So Sadie is going to start us out, I think, with the ideal customer and talking about our algorithm.
Okay, so obviously the woman who is speaking is uh who I want to be when I grow up. So she's very organized. She's doing all the everything she's saying is like yes. Like I'm like, yes, I'm gonna do that, right? And I do, right? So what I'm here to talk about is this, is that, and we're gonna be sharing your call to action later that she's gonna talk about is for over the years we've been doing this here for like 11 years. We've really refined the idea of the ideal customer. And so what happens is when you get clear on who you're speaking to and you're willing to maybe be misunderstood or not connected with as much outside of that ideal customer, what happens is a lot of magic where you really hone in on the people who find you are the ones who are really you're talking to. Okay. I always say this. I have a very clear ideal customer that I'm looking for. I'm going to tell you guys what that looks like. If you follow me on social media, you're very aware of the type of content I share. But the truth is I'm here for the women, but I have two men who've just joined me for this business. So I want to let you know that when you lean in and, your brand has been built for years prior to now. Guys, you're continuing to build your brand all the time. The bestie from high school who, maybe isn't your ideal customer, they're going to come to you anyway because they trust you. You've built that. And, I want you to understand that you're not going to be alienating. I would hesitate so much in the past to really get clear on who I was talking to because I didn't want to risk losing a sale. I didn't want to risk not being for everybody. But the truth is, I'm not for everybody. Neither are you, right? We got to show up 100 proof. We can't dilute our gifts. We can't dilute our purpose. We can't dilute what lights us on fire. And what lights me on fire is not going to be what lights likely the rest of you on fire because we're a team and better because of that, right? We all have our own gifts. We're leaning in a different way. Um, like just I really want to, and the worksheet will help you refine that. But if you're hesitant in that way and you're like, oh my gosh, like another example is when I started this, I was focused on autoimmune healing. Those were my people. I was showing up for them. I was hopping out of bed and I was excited. My feet were hitting the floor in purpose for them because that's a gaslit community, guys. That's a community that doesn't have a voice and blah blah blah, right? I don't have to fill in the blanks. Um, but did people who were expecting buy from me? Yeah. Did people who wanted to lose weight buy from me? Yeah. Did people who didn't identify as an autoimmune person? It sounds so weird. Didn't identify as an autoimmune person. You guys know what I'm saying? Like whatever. But the next thing I want to talk to you about is this. And I feel like the people on this screen know who my ideal customer is. I'm very clear about who I'm talking to, but what you talk about is what you attract, right? If you want people serious about changing their financial story, you got to be serious about your financial story. If you want people who are product users and want their blood sugar regulated and want to talk to diabetics and blah, 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 fill in the blank, cater your content to that. Get like seriously, like I love her pillar content. I'm just take what I'm saying and weave it into how you're showing up because I'm telling you right now, I feel like people go to my page and know I'm about scaling your life financially. That is what I'm about. That is who I'm here to help. And I'm also about other things, right? Meet me in my stories and you'll know that I don't really like the government. I really like empowered women. I like, the Lord a lot, love the Lord, whatever, right? Does that make sense? So I'm going to let what she's saying is perfect. I'm not arguing with that. The last thing I want to tell you is this. If you're not priming your algorithm, if you are not dropping into curiosity and spending time connecting with people, you are wasting an opportunity. Here's another thing. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I ask a lot of really weird questions on social media. One is because I'm very curious. I actually care about the things I'm asking about. So, like, which light fixture? Do you like this dress? Who designs this? Like, get curious with your audience, become a student of what's happening with other people. And the reason that's important is when you set that to public and you ask, like, and I want you to start with easy things. What's your favorite hairspray? Oh, everybody cares about their favorite hairspray, y'all. They want to tell you, right? Do you love coffee or tea or something easy, right? People care. They have 5 seconds to tell you their answer, and it's more about they're willing to connect, they're willing to get active on social media, they're willing to tell you how they feel, and they're looking at your stuff. Because how many times are we like, nobody cares about me? It's like one like from mom. I think that every time one of my little level ones will post something and I'm like, da, 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 da. It's like, mom's here, like mommy sees you, kind of a thing. So the thing is that you want to get in front of that. You want to be like, dropping into curiosity, asking things like, okay, what's your favorite bronzer? Okay, this is the one I use. Do you guys like this one? What's the cleanest detergent? Right? Don't if advice is don't ask about like car seats because that's gonna blow everything up. But like you guys know what I'm saying, moms, you know what I'm saying? Like, but just I think when we can become naturally curious and care about other people and care about what they think, I don't mean to make this long, but I just feel like we're missing an opportunity when we don't leverage just talking to people and opening a conversation. Because what that shows you is these people see what I'm doing. Like they're not saying anything. Famously, ask who has type O blood. Okay. Sidebar, they do really great on the reset, okay? Because Rain Man will, like research things, and so I care about blood type, I guess. Anyway, whatever. I'm just saying, please do it. It's really it's a confidence builder too, right? How many times can you get one like on your post, and then all of a sudden you're like, what's your favorite mascara? And then, okay, okay, I'm not alone. I'm here. Everybody's here. Everybody's here. So that's what I would say is just spend time doing that. Don't waste that opportunity. It is really a business builder. It really, really is because you see who sees you. And when you see that list, even if it's not related to Plexus, what's your favorite pencil? What's your favorite pencil? Okay. Go back and pull them into put them on a list, right? And engage with them intentionally for the next 10 days. And a lot is going to change about how you're getting engagement on social media. The engagement I have on social media was built over time, and it was built with dropping into curiosity and caring about what's happening with other people. So I'm too wordy. Go ahead, Mandy. Love you. Bye.
Well, hang on just a second. So Sadie, when you are doing the engagement posts, do you do that before you are in any
Oh,
messages with people, or could you share a little bit about that?
yes. So I don't know if it's a strategy. I've told some people about this before, but like I do like a bam bam, right? Like I'll do a reel I really love, and then right behind it, I'm coming in with something easy, an easy entry point to like talk to me about, right? So
Mhm,
it's like, and I don't know if it's I don't know there's not a science to it, but it works for me. So it's basically like you know, two things coming into their algorithm at once. Again, definitely feel like you need to be engaging with people before and after posting. And we want this, guys. If I got to tell you, if you want to be successful in this business, get really excited about connecting with people.
mhm,
It's not a waste of time. It's not. I don't know how many times I've got some little Enneagram eights on here somewhere on my little, or my threes, wherever there are. This is a waste of time. It's not
mhm,
efficient. Like it is long game, right? Long game. I used to think that exact same thing, but long game is the connection is always what is going to be, it's always going to be king, really, in this business. So I love a bam bam. Try it. Try it tomorrow.
mhm.
Do a post, do a before and after, a viral before and after or a magic post, and then ask a question and just see what happens.
I think that's brilliant because, the first stuff I was talking about is kind of a scaffolding, is what I would kind of consider it, like the skeleton. But what she's talking about is very, very important for you to actually connect with the people that you're wanting to connect with. So the parts that I was saying, like the three E's and the pillars, that's a scaffolding or a skeleton, and then you're going to fill that in with the things that you're passionate about, the people that you want to talk to. She's right. We're not all tacos. Not everyone's gonna love us, and nor do we want that. We want to be able to narrow that down and speak to the people that need us. So thank you for helping us figure out the right audience and how we can help with our algorithm. And Mandy is going to be talking about how to do some engaging like video content and um, just basically she's the pro. I consider her a pro at Reels. And so I'd love for you to share any of that kind of knowledge with us or tips or anything that you can share.
All right. Well, I love all the information you girls have already been sharing. I have to agree that we have to know who we're talking to and we have to have fun. If you're not having fun, people can feel that energy. So you need to be enjoying what you're doing. And it doesn't need to be a walking billboard, puking ingredient information, puking about all the products. It needs to be a day in the life of you, right? Or it needs to be the things that you enjoy doing with your family. So I put together a little list of kind of like checklists, top 10 things I think are pretty important when it comes to putting together content and bringing it all together. After you do the boom boom that Sadie talks about, and you follow the rules of the scaffolding that Jodie mentioned that are essentials to having like a firm foundation, then you're going to get into the weeds and you're going to brain dump. What do I want to talk about? Why do I want to talk about it? What does it bring me? What kind of joy does it bring me? What are the benefits? And how do I want my audience to get a taster? It's like appetizer hour, right? We're going to walk through the party and we're fun and we're going to give them something to try or something to admire or something to think about. And they're going to then follow along and want to know more. And then before the end of the night, you're karaokeing, doing shots of tequila, popping bubbly, and they're your besties. And that's when the sales come, right? So when we're putting together B rolls, does everybody know what a B roll is? B-roll is simply you videoing, holding down your photos, and catching little glimpses of your day. Are you sitting by the pool? Are your kids jumping in? Are you drinking a cocktail on the beach? Are you walking? Are you stirring your drink? Those are all ideas of what a B roll can be. It doesn't have to be thought out. It doesn't have to be clean, concise. You don't have to have well lit lighting. It doesn't have to be a makeup day. You don't have to have your brows on. Just do the damn thing. Quit overthinking if you're an overthinker. Just do it. Actions are louder than words. And when we think, sometimes we allow, things that don't serve us well, negative thoughts, insecurities to start creeping up in there. If you just do the damn thing, you don't have time to get scared, right? So do it. Do it messy. The whole idea of the messy action page is to do it messy. Learn along the way, fail forward. That's what we're doing here. So when we're creating those B rolls, we can do 15 in one day. It doesn't have to be you behind the camera. It can be you walking, talking, sitting. You can do it of other people. It can be a landscape. It can be a fly that you are watching on a hot dog. It does not have to be this superb thing. It can be anything you want it to be. It just has to be at least 5 seconds, and it doesn't need to be longer than 12, or you're going to put people to sleep unless you're talking. If you're talking about something and they want to watch, they will. But if you're doing a B roll and you're putting together a reel, it needs to be quick and concise, hold the audience, put on some fancy dancy tunes that are trending, and away we go. Now let's talk about the message with the reel. The message is important. We need to have a hook. Why do they want to stop and watch the fly on the hot dog? Why do they want to watch you poolside with your kids doing cannonballs? Why do they give a shit? They care because of the hook. What's the hook? The reason somebody should stop. How do you find a hook? You don't have to sit at your kitchen table and ponder for hours because we have AI. Woohoo! We can go to ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT, give me the top 10 hooks for a woman that's going through perimenopause, can't lose her muffin top, is angry at her husband, wants to slam the door every chance she gets, whatever it is that you want to appeal to, put it in. Ask Chat to give you the information. Provide that hook, pop it on the reel, pop the caption that the Chat GPT gives you or that you feel inspired to put up from the hook, right? That's how this works. Other than that, what we're doing is we're pairing those ordinary moments with powerful messages. We are attracting all the people. And after we put this up and we share it, we are sharing it automatically to every option possible. Is it Instagram? Is it Facebook? Is it TikTok? We're doing it all at the same time. Are we doing it on YouTube? I mean, this can be multifaceted. We're knocking out multiple birds with one stone, okay? And then the fun begins. because then we're going to share it to our teams, put up likes on our own. And then I found that when you have at least 3 comments immediately on Instagram, you're like, boom, a lot more eyes are seeing it. You can also do trial reels. I totally think you should try them because when you do a trial reel with your reel, you can share it to people that don't even know you, complete strangers. So, one of the strategies I have been doing for about a month, maybe longer now, is I will create my content and in my saved drafts, I will duplicate it at least 3 times. So I have one to share immediately, one to share as a trial, and one for another day. Try that. You will love the system because then when you are having a moment and you haven't been able to get a fresh B-roll and you're doubting yourself, you've got something handy dandy ready to rock and you can pull inspiration from your sideline sisters or from something you're reading or from the Bible or from some testimony that you collected and you can pop up a hook, pop up a caption and let it rip. Because what do Enneagram 8s like? That's a wing 7. We like it to be fun, but we like it to be flippin' fast. I don't have time to sit and think about it. And if I do, I can destroy my motivation. So it's got to be done. It's got to be quick. It's got to fit in the schedule. It's got to be awesome. And I want it to take off. So those are all essential things. The other things I want to mention, trending audio, don't forget that. I said it a little bit, but trending audio, start saving the things you like. Start saving the videos you're seeing 25 times in a day. Start saving those and let that inspire you to create too. Put it all down on a piece of paper. Okay, I really like this song. Oh, what could I tie with that? Would that be awesome for shaking something up? Oh my gosh, should I do this when we go to the beach? Hey, I'm on vacation. What do I want to do? Get your creativity flowing by using everything that's already moving and grooving on the Instagram or on Facebook and let that be inspiration for you. And then I also want you to know that it's important that you show your face, like Jodie and Sadie mentioned, but you don't always have to be all about you. It can be about other people too. And it doesn't always have to be a B-roll. It can be a carousel with music. You can do so many different things and have so much fun with this. It's honestly completely up to you and what you feel is going to be fun and get people to check out your brand. And I can't say it enough, just like they've already said it too. Be you. People trust you. People join you. They love you. They want to hear about you. What's happening for you? But when you do interact with them, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Don't puke on people. And that's where I'll end.
Very good. Very good. And I'm sure if you guys have questions, write them down so you can ask at the end. So, Mandy, I think that was brilliant advice. I remember the first time that she showed me how to hold the photo button down and do that B-roll footage. And it was like, oh my gosh. So, anytime you're going on trips or you're going on any Plexus event at all, this is a great time to do those things. So, all right, so next we're going to be going to Donna, and everybody that's talking tonight. They're very good at what they're doing, but I love Donna's stories. I feel like Donna has a great she comes through authentically in her story. She is a product of the product. She brings value to people in their everyday. And I would love for her to talk a little bit about her stories and how she authentically shows up for that. So go take it away, Donna.
Well, the pressure's on now. Holy cow. Thanks, Jody. Now, about stories, and it kind of ties into what Mandy's talking about also. I think authenticity is huge. And as far as B-rolls, I will say, if you do, a B-roll is just basically a quick video, 5-10 second video at the most. So just be videoing everything. And even if you video yourself, save it because there is umpteen times I have reused everything and nobody even knew it because they didn't see the story last week or they didn't see the story yesterday. So whatever it is, whomever you're talking to, save it to your camera roll because You can repurpose it umpteen times. You can repurpose anything, even in your B-rolls. So just be saving. That's the main thing. And when I talk, basically, when I talk in my stories, I'm talking to my sister. I say it every time. It's like I'm just talking to my sister. I'm telling her about my walk today. I'm telling her about my weighted vest. I'm telling her about, I don't know, anything. So that's just pick somebody to talk to and just do it. And just truly do not overthink it. The minute, the second you overthink it, you will not do it. And just hit send. It doesn't hurt anything. 9 times out of 10, all of you are the ones that are watching my stories. I'm just going to say it. And I sincerely appreciate it because I go back and check who watches my stories because those are my leads. So because with reels or with anything, they're awesome. They get engagement, but you don't see who's watching them. So always look back at your stories and always pay attention to who's watching them and just thank them. Thank them for watching your story. You know, even if it's not a connection, even if it's my daughter, thanks for watching. I'll tell her. And so just use that as another resource to have a lead for something, whatever it is. Just put them on your list so you can see who's watched the story. So let's see, don't overthink it. Save everything you do. Repurpose it if you need to. And truly find joy in it. It's not, don't make it, don't make it difficult because it's no fun. If you're thinking it too hard, it's just not going to be any fun. So just make it light. And whenever I'm doing a story and I do want to talk product, or I maybe not talk product, but I might talk about what's going on with my day, I'm going to be mixing something up. And I'm not going to be saying this is sweet tea microbiome activating and it's going to heal my gut. I'm not going to say that. But I am going to mix it up. And they're going to see me mixing my drinks. They're going to see me doing something with it. So just always be showing the product somewhere, but you don't have to talk about it. And just really, really show what it's, man, I just walked 10,000 steps on with my weighted vest on. And now I'm going to go conquer the world with this pink drink, you know what I mean, or whatever. Just be mixing it. And that can be used as a B-roll later even. So whatever I've said in my story, it's saved in my camera roll because I'm going to use it as a reel somewhere down the road. So let's see. I think, like I said, the main thing is just talk to your friend. Just talk. And people need to hear your voice. In stories, you can put anything in there. You could put all kinds of captions, all kinds of pictures, but maybe I don't do live videos because that's just, I don't know. I feel that when it says live, it's like, oh, everybody's really watching now. But when I talk in my story, I mean, that's where I'm going to talk, is they're going to hear me because I think that's where I can relate to more people than just hearing what I have to say. So if you don't feel like going live is the thing, try it in your story and just talk about something, or just, I don't know, a book you're reading, something you read, something you bought, what you buy on Amazon Prime, that kind of thing. Where'd you get this cute pen? I'm gonna have to talk about that, Medina. So let's see here. Two other things I will say. If you want to, I tend to follow other people in plexes on Instagram in their stories because I'm getting ideas from them. Jill Renfro, I love her stories. She's always doing the same thing every day. She's making her mocktail every day. So if you want to follow somebody, check out Jill Renfro. Another person is Jordan Reynolds. She could be my daughter. She's very young, but she's very with it on social media. She does have a Facebook group that I think is free. What's it called? Social Powerhouse Community. So see if you can get on there, because this week she's actually giving post real ideas, the caption, the call to action, everything. Always have a call to action, not necessarily in a story, but go check that out. Social Powerhouse Community. And then find the joy. I wrote that down. Find the joy in what you do. And I will say one thing, that in ChatGPT, if you're not using it, truly utilize it. If you need any help, just say. But one of the things I asked it the other day was quite interesting. So you might want to try it, because obviously when it answers you, then it lets you go on and on and on. So I asked it based on what you know about me, because I've been talking to Chat for a while. I haven't given it a name yet. I just call it Chat. But anyway, based on what you know about me, tell me something I don't know about myself. And it was really interesting. It went on for quite a while. So it gave me good insight as to what good prompt ideas for posts, good story ideas. So anyway, that's a good prompt to try. Okay. And like I said, 9 out of 10 times it's the people I know are watching my story. I don't have a big following as far as in my stories, more on Facebook than Instagram, surprisingly, but I do capitalize on who's viewing it. So be sure to check that out on the viewing. And I don't know. That's all I got for now. Hope
I
that's
think
helpful.
that's great. One of the things that I want to compliment you, I do love, like I can go and expect you to be sharing usually a devotion card or something about a book. And I like that, you have that trust with your audience, whether it's, just us or not. I always feel like it's more. I don't know. I just feel like you do a great job at that. But I
Oh,
love
thank
also what I'm hearing from a lot of people is curiosity posting, where you're not just throwing out the bottle of MetaBurn, but you're maybe holding the capsules in your
Mhm.
hand and talking about how it's helping knock out brain fog and, all the things for the day. I think that's really important, that we just don't give it away. We want them to come and ask us, what is it you're talking about? What is it, Donna, you're mixing up in your story? Tell me more
you.
about that. So I
Yeah.
think that's
And I will
also
say one more thing too. I think, Sadie, you hit on it too. Don't, I mean, we're not trying to sell something. Stop trying to sell something. We're trying to solve a problem that that person has. I always tell myself that. What kind of problem are we trying to solve for that person? Because it has already solved my problem, but I got to solve theirs now. So don't just try to sell them something. So anyway, yeah.
And you just said that perfectly because, guys, everyone is showing up in this space with needing something to be fixed. I mean, really, they're needing, they need a solution for something, whether it's their health or anything else. You have the power to help them find a solution. And I think that's really, really powerful. So now we're going to go on to Amanda Lyman, who I also think has a really great social media presence. And I just asked her just to come and give some examples of what she or how she comes up with her content, what she shares, things like that. Because if you go to her page and you check her out, you're going to see what I'm talking about. She's very, I think she is good at entertaining. I always enjoy the stuff she's sharing, and I just want her to share some of those ideas. So take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Jody. So much of what has already been said has just been just dynamite, and I can't reiterate it all enough. The main thing that I go into my social media thinking as far as just trying to figure out content, because let's be honest, like we're not always on, right? So there's some days that I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm just, have all of this creativity. And then other days I'm like, and most of those days I'm like at my desk working on my other job, and I'm just like, gosh, nobody wants to see me working, like this is boring. So, um, what I heard a long time ago from a creator was that everything is content. And you'd be surprised, like in my stories, a lot of times I get, like not every story gets a like that they send you or a heart or whatever. But a lot of the stories that I send with just my coffee cup in the morning saying, like I love slow mornings or whatever it is, those always get like they always reach someone. So I just kind of take my phone with me, not everywhere, like, but and I just find things that are normal things that people can relate to, but that are content. And of course, I feel like I do have the kind of hot mess express situation going sometimes. So I do think that that can be relatable for people. And I have 3 boys and I'm a boy mom. So I am the only girl. So I love to post, like my older son is a goof and they were doing laundry. He hung up my bra, right? And I was like, I held a picture of it and I'm like, for reals, this is what boy mom looks like, So maybe I don't connect to the girl moms, but I'm connecting to the boy mom. So that's again something that you can kind of come to my page and get some humor out, because boys are silly. So I just kind of look for those small things. I love to remember to post pictures of like my kids, because that does get some interaction. And like Sadie said earlier, I've really started getting back into posting those curiosity posts. So that's been helpful in just learning about my audience and those things. But even just, when you're sitting at the ball field and you're drinking your drink, um, I'll just post that with the ball field in the background, and just make sure that people understand that this is portable or whatever. So those are kind of some things that I try to focus on. And when you do have those days of not feeling creative, well, let me back up. When you have those days where you're feeling creative and you're just pumping out things, save it. Like everybody said, like I will just pop on, like I'm on my walk. I'll pop on TikTok, which is where I like to kind of do my drafts, and edit my videos. And I'll just do something really quick, like my walking, just me walking, because that's going to be a great video later, a reel later, where I can put some words on the screen. And if it's long enough that it takes the reader a little bit of time to read, but your video is short enough, they're going to keep watching it, and it's going to push you up on the algorithm and look like they're going to they're going to be pushing it out more. So I'll do that. Or like somebody said, just taking a picture of I mean, you can always count on a sunrise or a sunset on my page, because I'm obsessed with those. Like, I have the best view in the morning. And so I'm always taking pictures outside of my bathroom. And again, it's the same thing, but people expect that. So, and then I'm always really jealous when somebody gets a good picture and I'm like, I didn't even look out the window and see it this morning. So just kind of when you are feeling inspired, make sure that you save those. If you can just really quickly put a blurb on the video or the caption, and to kind of trigger what you were originally thinking, then you can come back to it, because you don't have to do all of that all in one day, because then you're going to need some things for those days that you're not really feeling super creative and all of the things. Another quick tip: if you don't like being on social, especially with no makeup, I mean, 2020 kind of changed that for me. I always joked that, like my standards got real low on what I actually go out looking like. But make it black and white. Like, who cares? Or gosh dang, like I used to be in the makeup industry, and so they were like, never use filters, but use a freaking filter. Like, nobody cares, we're not selling makeup. I'm not, obviously if you're selling the skincare, then of course that's something different, but use a filter, make it black and white. Don't forget to put captions on your videos and your stories, especially because, like, I don't know, it's a large percentage that watches these stories on mute at work, wherever you are. And so you want them to know what you're saying, right? So anyway, yes, on Jodie saying the whole educate, encourage, and entertain, those sort of things, I for sure try to stick with that. And I really do like just trying to encourage people, but sometimes what my posts are or how I'm feeling. So if I'm feeling very sentimental about my kids or whatever, then that will be my post for the day. And then, just kind of, again, it's just being relatable and finding content in all the things. So let me really quick look at my notes and see if I missed anything big. The big takeaways are, of course, just be you. People want to hear your voice. They've said that before, but I get on there and say the craziest things. Today I went upstairs. I work in the basement, and I went upstairs and had to pass two bathrooms before I found a bathroom that was available. And so I just posted like, hey guys, this is what it's like being in a house full of boys, because they sit on the toilet forever, right? So again, I'm entertaining. And I will tell you that I sat there and thought, should I post this? Kind of overthought it a bit. And then finally I was like, forget it. I'm going for it. So somebody, and probably most of you guys on the screen, especially if you have boys in your house, relate to that. So anyway, it's funny, it's fun, and don't overthink it. Just have fun and everything's content. That's my big takeaway from that.
I love it. Thank you. So I kind of have this common theme that I've heard from everyone that showing up consistently, authentically, and all of those, the things that they've mentioned are trump perfection. Okay. And that's the thing that we want to make sure that our new people that join us, that they understand that they're able to be successful with this right out of the gate, right out of the gate, because you're going to ask them to show up and to be them. And you can give them this video to help them with some of the scaffolding and some of the actual, how to find your ideal customer. Sadie's created this amazing worksheet, and we're going to have that at the end. We'll share it, and then throwing on that engagement post to shake things up a little bit. The reels are so important. I love that she was saying make sure you put content on it, or titles, or what are captions. That's what I'm trying to say, because some people do have to. I mean, there's been lots of times I've had to have it on silent, and I'm scrolling. So very important. I love everyone's advice on this. So you just have to remember that mixing up your content is important. Okay, you don't have to overthink it. You just film it, save it, use it. Or with post, and I tend to get more action on my post than I do even reels or stories. But I think people come to me knowing that my posts are going to be way too, really wordy. So I just let you know, you'll find your style, and I'm authentically wordy. So if I show up trying to be this tiny little caption phrase, it's just not going to work out very well for me. They're going to be like, who did this for you, chat? Right. Another thing I'm going to tell you about chat is get rid of dashes. If you use chat, do not copy and paste and put dashes into your post or captions. I do feel like that screams I use chat GPT. Okay, just a little tidbit there, because I love chat too. And another thing I want to tell you of, like when you're on social media and people have said that they're watching other people's content, you can go and you can save some of the posts, even put them in folders in Facebook. But when you do use somebody's post, we are one plexus. People offer that. They give you the right to go and share some of a post. But I'm going to tell you, etiquette wise, make sure that if you're taking someone's post, that you're giving that post love, or at least hearting it, at least commenting it. And then that is when I would take that post and I would take it to chat, and I'd say, listen, help me make this sound like me. Okay, do not just throw the same post up that's exactly the same words. But always, guys, give credit where credit's due. Somebody worked really hard on that post. And there's lots of times that people do just use them and don't do that. And I think that etiquette wise, that's just it's courtesy. So make sure we do that as a common thing. And I know this has gotten kind of long, but I do feel like this has been very helpful for especially our new people that are coming in and joining us. So just remember to, add value, show up and be authentic, and don't overthink it. And if you ever need help with inspiration or support on your posts, your reels, your stories, you have threads that you can go into and say, I would love for you to support me, and we will. So action item, challenge at the end. We're going to give you the finding your ideal customer worksheet. I would encourage you to fill that out, because it's going to really help you narrow down who it is you're talking to. If you want me to provide you a blank calendar, I can, but you can go anywhere. You can even ask chat, create me a blank calendar if you want to do that. Listen, not everyone's gonna do that. I tend to do that because I was a teacher and it's like a lesson plan. Okay, that's me. But the rest of the people that are, if they're just writing down a couple ideas for 2 to 3 days, you're winning. All
Mhm.
right, you're winning. There does not have to be, again, you're showing up, you're being consistent way over perfection. That's what counts. So Anyway, just remember that every time you can make a connection, you are planting a seed and you are influencing someone. And that's the most important thing. Okay. All right. Does anybody have questions for anybody? Yeah, go
I
ahead, Sadie.
Well, I was just gonna say, we'll post this in Messy Action with the worksheet underneath. I'm gonna stop recording and then we can ask questions. Okay. Thank you so much, Jody. Thank you, everybody who spoke. This is a perfect example of how we are stronger together. I want you to see how everybody added value in a different way. They leaned into something that was important to them, that they loved, and that works for them. And so there is no perfect way to do this. And you just have to be you, show up, listen to what, like, whatever somebody, resonated with you. And I think that's the point of this. So thank you, everyone. I'm going to stop recording.